He's not.
I think we have a different idea of courtship.
I have to leave.
Not while you're hallucinating. Stay right here while I figure out what's going on.
Seeing you here, drink in hand, all smiles, it makes me sick.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you killing my mom.
Alright, so we know he's hallucinating for sure.
Oh my... Mom, are you okay?
Hey, don't let her up. She's out of her mind.
Jeez, I came up here to apologize to you.
Then why would you...
I should have told you when I had the chance.
Someone's playing with our minds, feeding into our insecurities.
Alec! Alec, no! What are you doing? You're scaring me.
No.
You're a murderer, Alec. Nothing more.
I know you wish I was dead instead of
I
Jocelyn.
don't wish you were dead. You let a demon possess you? Nobody's gonna miss you.
Oh, is this what Valentine is doing?
Murderer.
This is what he had the warlock do? Come on. Oh, thank God. I think this is the work. It took me forever to figure it out, but I think this is Valentine, what he had the warlock do. Everybody good now?
Jade?
What's going on?
You okay?
Oh, crap. Was that the plan?
You're putting your words up?
Nobody leaves until I get it back. That book can undo every spell I've ever cast, from the elementary to the complex, in new and old languages. Sharu.
What does that mean?
Cat.
Oh, the new cat. The new cat.
I hate party crashers.
Yes, get a warlock fight. Kick her ass, Magnus.
Where are my counter spells?
Valentine!
Valentine work with my counter spells.
I don't know. I don't know! Very Fairchild, you made a blood oath. Find Nancy.
What do you do to her?
She's a Clay's problem now.
Oh, he sent her to the clave.
Is
Okay,
Valentine
so
up to
instead
anyway?
of impregnating her, now she wants her to save her granddaughter, right?
The angel showed us a vision of a demon who could destroy the sword. If we could find that demon, we could stop Valentine.
How did you two save the angel?
Tell him.
With
Tell
runes
him.
the angel gave to me.
Years ago, Silent Brother told me about a special connection the original Shadowhunters had with the angel Razel. Because they were created from his blood. Clary may have a blood connection to that angel, and that must mean she has pure angel blood.
He needs her to
Clary
activate
can
the sword.
soul sword.
I knew it. Right, so they know that she can activate the sword, and Valentine wants her, so they let her walk home alone. They're not like all protecting her. Just gonna put that out there. But I'm glad Simon wasn't a jerk like they was showing. I was like, I thought it was weird. This whole episode has just been weird.
I don't regret taking you in for 1 second. Max was totally out of line because I have been out of line. As a parent, your greatest hope is that your children don't inherit your worst traits.
Yeah, well, Max is still young, impressionable. You can still steer that ship straight.
Max doesn't have any idea what's going on between your father and me.
And what is it?
Are they getting a divorce?
I didn't want to burden you all.
Is Dad cheating on you?
Bastard. You can't tell Isabel.
Come stay with us. You and Max. don't have to go back to Idris or Dad.
Okay. I feel bad for her.
You and Clarissa are going to get along so well.
Okay, guys, so that was the end of episode 8, season 2 of Shadowhunters, and this was a interesting episode, I would have to say. So Isabel, Jace, and Alec, their little brother Max, was getting his first rune. He passed his test or whatever it was that he had to do, and so they were going to have a ceremony, and he's getting his first rune. Max told Alec that he had heard his parents fighting over the fact that Alec has a warlock boyfriend, and so Alec convinced Magnus to throw a party to force, I guess, sort of their relationship onto his mom, to show her that Magnus is his boyfriend and he's not going anywhere, and she's just gonna have to get over it, you know. And so before I get into the party, let's go back. Simon told Clary how he felt, that he's in love with her. And before he told her, I was like, I wasn't for the relationship. I wasn't against the relationship. But how quickly it happened was just weird. Because she didn't I knew that she was starting to have some kind of feelings towards Simon. But, you know, he said that he loved her and she just kissed him. And it was just weird to me that she was that willing to go there with her best friend, who she's known since forever. I guess forever. I can't remember how long they've known each other. But I just, I don't know. It was weird. And I'm still not against them being a couple or anything. I don't know. It just not setting that great with me. I don't know why. But they went together, you know, as a couple to the party. Rewinding it some more, we also had Isabel, who at the beginning was about to be attacked by vampires, but Raphael swooped in, saved her, and he was trying to convince her to just write it out. You know, she has to go through it. It's withdrawal. It's drug withdrawal. That's what it is. She has to go through it. But she's begging and all that stuff, and so he's like, okay, just one time. So he bit her and gave her the venom. And he also got to have her blood. She goes back later and tries again with Raphael. She tries to convince him. He says no. And then she goes and she cuts herself and puts her blood on his lips, and it's just tempting him to do what she wants, and it worked. And afterwards he told her that, you know, when he first turned, that he was obsessed with human blood. The more he had, the more he wanted. And Magnus is the one that helped him, turn away. I guess he turned away from human blood. And him taking her blood is even worse because it's more potent. So they could be friends. I don't have a problem with that, but I hope the whole biting thing stops. I know that the second time she really was smearing her blood on him, literally. So it was harder for him to resist, but hopefully from now on, and after she heard his story, she will do what he said and disappear for a little while and just write out the withdrawal. We also had Valentine in this episode. He found that warlock that Clary tried to use to resurrect her mother. He held her granddaughter, I believe she is, hostage because he wanted her to to do something for him. We didn't know what it was he wanted her to do. But then we fast forward to the party, And the first weird thing that happened was Clary saw Simon talking to Maya, and she started to get jealous, and I thought she was going to go confront Maya, and I was like, she just needs to calm down, because if it weren't for Maya, Simon probably never would have told her how he felt. And then she saw Maya and Simon kissing, and then Simon's like running her down and telling her that she doesn't understand. Maya understands what it's like to live like this. You don't. And he was trying to justify kissing her, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, that is not Simon. It's me that was not Simon. And I even said, I was like, is that even really Simon? I thought it'd be weird for somebody to be doing something at Magnus's, being able to get away with something like that, like a demon getting in or whatever, because I didn't know if they were being possessed or it was someone who looked like them. And then we had the little incident with Max, who told Jace that Jace wasn't his brother, and he was being all judgmental towards Magnus for being a warlock, and he got that from his mom. So Alec told her that in order to make things right with him, she needed to make things right with Jace. And so she went and found Jace, and then she started spouting all this stuff about how she should have killed him when she had the chance and never should have taken him in and all this stuff. And I'm like, what is going on? Because something weird was going on. I was like, I don't get it. That's when I thought maybe people were being possessed. And I'm like, and Jace knocked her out, and then Clary tries to leave. Magnus realizes something weird's going on. He knew she was hallucinating. He's like, you stay right here. I'm gonna go figure out what's going on. She didn't stay. As soon as he left, she was started leaving, and then Alex stopped her. And then Alex started seeing her, and this is when we knew for absolutely certain it was a hallucination. Besides the fact that when Clary saw Simon and Maya kissing, nobody else saw that. Magnus didn't see that. Simon was talking to some other person. But I'm talking you knew what was being said was a hallucination, and that was, her blaming Alec for killing her mom and everything like that. And then Izzy shows up, and Clary tries to talk to her, but Izzy kind of blows her off and says she has to find her mom and Alec and them. And so she finds them, and her mom's unconscious. Magnus is in there, and just all kinds of stuff's going on. And then we hear Clary screaming at Alec to stop, and we go to the balcony, and Alec is standing on the ledge, and all he sees is Clary just spouting all this stuff at him about how it's his fault that Jocelyn is dead and that he should kill himself, basically. And so he goes to fall, but Magnus gets there just in time and stops him, puts him to sleep at the same time, and sets him down. And that's when Magnus is like, it's a hallucination, somebody's doing something. And so he goes and gets his spell book, and he takes away the spell. I guess that's what he did. He captured it in his hand or whatever. And then everybody stopped, because while he was doing this, everybody's yelling at each other, and it stops. Everybody's just like, what the heck just happened? And Magnus is trying to figure it out, and then his spell book goes missing. And so he puts a barrier up so nobody can leave, and he checks everybody before he lets them go. And then after everyone is gone, except for the main group of people, Magnus figures out about the cat, the new cat that he saw at the beginning. And so they chase it down. He puts the barriers back up because he had brought them down after he checked the last person, but he puts them back up, and he goes to find the cat. They find her, and Magnus changes her back, and it's the warlock that Valentine confronted at the beginning. And so they have a little battle, which I absolutely loved, by the way. And So he captures her and, wants to know why Valentine wants his spellbook. She says she doesn't know. I believe that she doesn't know. And he makes her undo her spell that she did to everybody because she, froze everyone. And so she undoes it and they all come running out. And she looks at Clary and she's like, you have a blood oath. She's like, fine. I can't remember what the little girl's name is, but find her granddaughter. And then Magnus proceeds to send her to the clave. So that's how she's going to pay her blood oath, is to get the little girl. And then we see Valentine at the end giving the little girl ice cream. And he said her and Clary are going to get along great. I don't really understand what that means. I just don't understand what that means. What's his plans for Clary and the little girl? He doesn't even like the little girl. She's part demon, in his eyes she should be dead. So I don't know what that means. Is he gonna do something to her that's gonna, and then he's gonna let Clary find her, and then this is gonna help him get Clary? I don't know. But anyway, we also found out in this episode that Clary has pure angel blood. How would she get pure angel blood? I don't know. I don't know how you get angel blood unless you're sired by, not sired, but